Transmitting. Looking back this way. Go team. Lulu, good morning. Just know I'm standing in front of the heater for you guys. Thank you. It's a beautiful day actually. All rugged up. It was a very warm night. Don't have a heater here. Didn't need the heaters. But mind you, a really cold breeze kicking in there.
Homosexual themes throughout the show. It made it virtually impossible for anyone else in the world.
There's a fucking radio station, mate. It is disgusting. Queer global news. We've got this radio station on because our warriors are on an interview this morning, Forest of the Fallen. Karen, Christine, Joel. Sorry, I forgot my last lady's name. Something Comfort. I don't know how to pronounce it anyway. They're on the radio station. What radio station? 98.3.
This week we continue to look at outrageous
disgusting, mate.
history of Australian TV that premiered
Anyway.
at the Sydney Mardi Gras Film Festival earlier this year, which featured the first openly gay character to be portrayed in a soap
They're
opera
all they're
in
interested in who they're going to fiddle and how you can fucking fiddle with each other.
Back in early 1972 on the groundbreaking series number 96. The character was a lawyer, Don Finlayson, played by Joe Hasham. I'm speaking with
I might turn this off
director,
and come back when all this is
Andrew
off.
Mercado. How did the role affect Joe Hasham's
The other one's so. I want to try and find
Oh, thank you, Phil.
Rock still didn't send it to me. He was supposed to send me last night, so I
Deep breath. Thanks, Phil. Thank you. You saved us, mate. Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. And then you can see the state of the world nowadays when that is just.
First here in Australia.
How does anyone stand a chance, mate? Well, you got to be professional at work.
They know that if they can beat the Australians, they'll beat the rest of the world. Why? Because you don't fuck with the diggers. You don't fuck with the Aussies. You don't fuck with the Anzacs. So if they can beat us, they know they can beat the rest of the world. And where else is it like that? Don't fuck with the Mounties. So where else are they going hard? Fucking Canada.
Oh, mate, it's yeah, feeling the dirt of it all today.
Slime dog and motherfuckers need taken out.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And my 2-hour distraction a week, I like to watch my Fremantle Dockers, who now call themselves the Wallyulla something or
Are they
others.
dressed in pink like the fucking cunts I seen on the fucking footy the other day?
Close.
Dressed in pink.
Yeah,
The
no, my
fucking
team
women-
hasn't gone pink, but purple is our colour, but that doesn't matter, that's not theirs, it's our...
The women were dressed in fucking black and blue, dark blue, in the footy,
Yep.
and the fucking men footy was fucking pink.
Yeah, right. But anyway, yeah, their board sat last night and they decided they support the voice to Parliament. Holy shit, really? This is a footy team that can't even win a premiership, mate. They can't even play football. And they think they're going to move into bloody politics. The funny thing is, if there was free and fair elections, the corporations wouldn't have to push politics. We've proven it just recently in the New South Wales election. Again, in New South Wales with Bosie and Guru, we can't even get our voice into Parliament. So they're going to pave the way for a voice controlled by them into Parliament. Mate, footy teams need to stay the hell out of this, because this isn't the sovereignty, this isn't the freedom that our Anzacs fought for and died for. You can't go and celebrate Anzac Day and remember them one week and then go straight in to vote for the voice to Parliament when they're so unconstitutional and corrupt the next week. There's two sides here. You've got to pick a fucking side. And it looks like the Freo Dockers have picked a bloody side. Voice to Parliament, more deceit, more corruption. If the AFL cared so much about the culture of this bloody country, they wouldn't have killed off State of Origin football. What did they kill off? We were powerful, we were loving it, we were fucking bringing our own, mate. No, kill that off, kill it off, kill off the culture. You don't have any culture. No, we're going to create... There's your culture. Fucking disgusting. Free and fair elections, we'd be able to get these people into power. There's brilliant Aboriginal people out there with real care and compassion who've done all they can to fight to get their voice and be the voice in politics without the corruption. And they haven't, because they've been censored just as much as any of us. If they don't toe the line, you don't get a gig. Corporate takeover. Deep breaths. So I thought, fuck, the Freo Dockers have sold out. Bloody, the RSL's probably going to sell out next and break all their hearts. Yeah, got messages from Shazza today. Yeah, no, the RSL already have. Fucking disgusting, mate. How am I supposed to be a proud Australian when they just strip it away? Anyway. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. I just want to go back to my flowers, bees and trees. Flowers, bees and trees for me. Anyway, how's the digs doing? Sorry to have a little rant like that on. But then we turn on the radio station to listen to our own, and then it's just LBGTQ and sodomy, bloody disgusting bullshit. Evil, you can feel the evil. And no one approaching the real issues of the world. Some of these arse, these football stations, these football bloody corporations, they probably all support bloody transgender story time with children too. Yeah, go and put that on your bloody website and see how yous go. Yeah, no, not brave at all, gutless, just towing the corporate line. Who's giving these football teams and AFL the money? There's no free and fair elections here. We can't. We've proven it. There's no such thing. So how can you have a free and fair vote? Well, you can't. Already you've seen this unconstitutional government, UN and all that, are pumping the money into the corporations to tell you and I what we will do. I mean, Margaret Court, what a warrior woman she was. She stood up to Qantas. Qantas said, for the yes and no vote for bloody gay marriage, I'll stand proud. I voted no. Various reasons, not because of hate, not because I didn't think they were allowed to, because I saw the sodomy that would happen because those questions weren't being asked, like the grooming of children. How far do you go? Yeah, they go all the way. They go all the way. They don't just, we're just happy. No, they take the lot and they start grooming the children. And it gets on every radio station, every TV, and every corporation. You reckon I like being this person to call it out? No, but I'm not going to stand for it, mate. God told me nice and clearly, mate. I said, yes, sir, I will be your warrior here on the spot. I will stand for the truth. I'll stand for right over wrong. I made that moral decision. If we had free and fair elections, if we could guarantee that, we would all have our voice. We'd have the true voice approaching the real issues. We'd be empowered. We'd have our culture back. It's like they're robbing us of our culture by just pushing one side of other culture, And I know the Aboriginal people won't fall of it, just more deceit. They've been here before, mate. They've seen 200 years of this bullshit. Just going full circle around and around again. What the government needs to realise is we don't need them anymore, mate. We can govern ourselves, for fuck's sake. We can be a clean and pure society. Just give us our free, fair and elections back. You'll find the true people who choose to give a care about humanity stand up and get their votes in. Get rid of your Liberals, your Nationals, your Labours, your Greens, all controlled opposition, all the same side to give the illusion of free and fair elections. And you would find those true blue people with long, with thousands of years of bloodline history here to this land, you'd find them get in, and you'd find them to be beautiful people, and our warriors fighting for us. We don't need these bloody corporations. The football is the distraction. They keep you distracted so you don't see the truth while they get away with it. So now the distraction is the brainwash. They think they're politicians. Sold us all out. Bring back state of origin football. Bring the culture and all the pride back to your statehood, your homegrown talents. Put the big WA Swan against the big V and the Victorians again. You know, South Australia, the Crows, mate, fucking powerful teams. Yeah, I love our corporate AFL on the corporate level, but if you really cared about culture, you'd give the football back to the states, mate. Empower us all. It's all lies, mate. They're just fooling us, fooling them, and they're falling for it. Hook, line, and singer. I better shut up because I'm just fucking ranting. Sorry, thanks. Anyway, Lulu's on fire. She was also first and second and possibly third. You reckon you'd just hand over one of those podiums to, say, Diana? Hello, Angel. Friday, 26th of May, 9:30, 10. Thank you. There you go. Tune in to Christine, Joel, Karen, and the Creator talk about Forest of the Fallen. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I know the Creator. I actually don't know who that is. But I just, yeah, powerful. Good. Let me meet that person, that warrior. We will do today on the radio, 98.3, I think it is. You've got it there, 2XX FM or something or other. Yep. G'day Lulu, to Diana, good morning. Catherine K, Helen S, good morning. Great link there, Diana, for the 9:30am. Let's get Dan V, Phil and FFC to play it live. We've got the speakers ready. That's why we ended up with that crap on the radio playing over. It's just dirty, disgusting shit that they're playing over the airwaves. Sodomy. A thick brainwash of sodomy. Yeah, no, Karen. Yeah, oh, no, Karen's a warrior. Sorry, it was this. I think it's the Creator I'm talking about. I don't want to get it wrong because I actually, yeah, I've got this show under control. But yeah, just walk in faith. I know they're warriors and they're doing it, and I can see it and I love them. But I'm just not sure who we're talking about. That the Creator of it. I heard an. I don't want to get the name wrong. Hey, Corey. Yeah, we'll figure it out during the day. Yeah, and I'm almost apologetic because I should know this person, this warrior, this bloody gone ahead and done this. But yeah, I saw it as Christine running it, and then I've seen Joel and Karen and Corey continuing it. But there's a lot more to it. But that's just me because I'm in my own little bubble, not looking left and right outside. Motherfuckers, yeah. I'm sorry about it all. I don't want to bring hate and everything, but I get angry. I'm fucking angry, mate. It's just disgusting bullshit. Yeah, I forgot about Margaret Court. Warrior, mate. So they're doing the no vote, yes/no vote. Qantas. So you try to catch a plane on Qantas. Now Qantas was all yes. There's not an option for no. It'd be right to say Qantas was yes and then Virgin was no, but it's not. No, they're all yes. Every football team's going to be yes. Not a single football team will be brave enough to say no, we don't support the boys.
Because they want the money.
They want the money. The money they've been. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's just, they're just trying to earn your favour and.
They just want the money. There's no fucking favour in it. Money. All those football teams are designed to dull the masses down and.
So Margaret Court rocks up the Qantas, she gets a ticket with vote yes for the vote. And she goes, no, sorry, I don't want that ticket. I just want a ticket to get on the bloody plane. She wasn't saying what her vote is, but she just says, I don't want your propaganda. Just give me a plain ticket. She wasn't going to be the market board for that vote. Courageous woman, bloody beautiful. Mate, she inspired me because I felt the same. No, well, give me the ticket that has no on it. No, you will take the ticket. So she didn't take the ticket and she never got on the bloody plane and she was persecuted right across this nation. Margaret Court, what a bloody warrior. That's what I'm just saying, mate. Just stand up and be counted for. Don't just cop their bullshit. They're bullying us.
It's war. War without you fucking even knowing it.
It's a sick mind that's bullying us.
They're testing you to see if you'll stand up.
Yeah. Do not let these sick minds bully us out of our righteous moral standing, mate.
And you have the right to say, I don't want that fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
You don't have to agree with everything they agree with.
Yeah, but then they get away with it. They kick her off and she doesn't get on the plane, all the bloody rest of it, and then they try to take her name off stadiums and everything like that.
And she has the right to disagree.
Yep.
You don't have to agree with every fucker that's on this planet. In fact, there was more of us that disagree than there is agree. But the ones that are in the power with all the money, our money, trying to push the fact.
There's no way even that was a free and fair election. They just get what they want, mate.
Free and fair selection.
48, 52% change. Oh, yeah.
It's not the people that are elected or electees anyway that you got to worry about. It's all the people that are allocated a job. This is the health minister. This is who the fuck voted him in there? He's not even a fucking doctor, and he's making health decisions. Oh yeah, but I'm listening to these people. Who are they? Oh, they're the board of fucking Pfizer.
They always go inclusivity and equality and all the rest of it while they put a fucking divide right in fucking between you and the others, you know?
Yep, that's it. You won't take the ticket that says yes. Well, you're out.
I mean, this last Indigenous round in the AFL, and I am going back to the AFL, but it was a beautiful thing. I saw so much culture there. But if you brought it back to state of origin, that would be more equal and more encompassing of all of us as Australians as a whole than just one little group. So as I said, if they cared about culture, we'll bring back state of origin football and get out of this fucking corporate shit.
If they cared about culture, they wouldn't spend $409 million on trying to push the voice across the line. They'd actually divide it up between the communities that they want to help.
Go forth and be powerful. Yeah.
Imagine what $409 million would do to the Aboriginal communities in Australia if it actually made it to them.
Not only are they pushing the voice, I reckon they know exactly which candidates they're going to put in there already.
It's going to be corporate body owned.
Yeah.
Oh, up to you.
It's not an elected thing. The voice, the people that are running the voice are not elected.
You're right. There's be more board meetings and, unvoted, but having all the power to have your say for my say. Just deep breaths.
Oh, fuck me. Now they're advertising the fucking voice.
This mob better look after our mob, mate. I tell you, I'm going to...
Don't say you're going to burn the radio station down. Don't fucking say it.
We're not going to
I don't do things like that, Corey. Pull them all to pieces.
Oh.
Expose them 100%.
We've got the most woke radio station in this fucking town, mate. How are we on a woke radio station?
That's why we're on there, because we're free speech for everybody.
The energies and frequencies and vibrations are actually bringing a real negative one here at the moment. So you can see the negative frequency of all this has just got us all...
Well, they said that I can go on there about fucking about this because they're going on there about the fall. If I go on there about this, they're not going to like it. It won't stay on for long because they put a delay in it.
They put a delay and then they pick and quiet. Yeah, I know.
Obviously, you've heard about the school shooting in WA.
Yeah, 2 rocks.
Gun control.
Yeah, .22 calibre air rifle basically.
He goes, hey, who did it hurt? Nobody. It's, what damage did it do? Oh, I nearly broke my skin.
Taking the guns.
I told you, it's a false flag.
Yeah, go for the guns.
I've no doubt a kid took a gun to school and probably whatever, but it would have been.
Who cares? I grew up with guns. I got shot by my cousin.
I'm pretty sure that individual can be disciplined in the right correctional manner without his crimes affecting the rest of the bloody country, mate.
Exactly.
Hold that person accountable and the parents. Yeah, you bring the bloody parents in and say, hey, what's fucking going wrong here?
Yep.
The parents lose their guns, yeah, hold them accountable. So it's a lesson to everyone else. You fucking look after your bloody kid.
It's just a false martyr, mate.
Look after your bloody right. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, mate, got me.
Crow, we've got a crow. Crow.
Zimmel, easy to digest. One of those problems with the digestives, mate. Getting this bloody angry and upset about it all. Oh, man, I'll let it go. But fuck.
You weren't listening to the birds.
Oh, sorry.
You should have been listening to the birds.
We should have been. We're bringing in the wrong energy, and we should have just been letting the good energy flow in. Yeah.
They're all telling us.
Fuck! There's a crow!
The world's fucked. Come wake up. You're all fucked.
Flowers, bees and trees for me. Flowers, bees and trees. Sorry, Warhammer. Yeah. Well, let's bring some good vibrations, and I reckon I'll find it on the other end of the screen here with you guys. What's going on here? Something's on. Oh. Oh, oops, sorry. What are they doing?
The magpie took the crow.
Yeah, magpie took it. Yeah, magpies are above on the pecking order.
He tried to grab it with his one little claw.
Magpie's running off with it. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Have they already had the interview? No, just don't wind her up, mate. Just let her go natural.
I'm just going to make sure.
Yeah, cool. Just let them be themselves. Let them go with no anxiety, with the belief that this is a good mob, and just they can then be the best representation of us as they always are. Don't you pick on Karen, Joel, or Christine. I tell you, mate, they're the finest people in this country, up there with the finest. They really are. Yeah, I put Joel in that. I did. I said that about Joel. I did. Yeah, fuck yeah, mate. I've seen that growth in that man. We are men, and we struggle with things. But tell you what, Joel, fucking warrior, man. Much loved. I was doing a flight pass. Well, yeah, it's not cold, sorry. It's not cold, no shit. Take my glove off. Blow me little Canberra wet nose. I don't know about this shit. Anyway. Inferior genetic status. I don't know there's any truth or anything on this bloody radio station. All is just narrative. Offspring's genetically engineered. It's on this radio station now. That's why it turned it. thanks, Lily. I'm sorry I've brought that sort of energy, but the energy's here. And I'll try and sort it out. Evening, Nobby, how are you? Shovelers, diggers. We need bigger shovels, mate, with longer handles. I think we're digging deeper holes. Just put a speech, put it on. Being woke on freedom front room. Putin on being woke. Yep, cool. I watched this earlier, a bit heavy though. Watched the first part of the Bosi and Guru yesterday. That was Bosi put some stuff. He's right, mate, that guy.
And interest groups. So we'd like to welcome to the show this morning to talk about no more GM babies, Brothel from GMFX.
Yeah, he speaks my language. Morning, Sharon, how are you? Sorry, cough. You can hear the accent through there. Good. We've been doing a bent pack with Jimmy Savile, isn't it? It's just not fair, is it? There's a lot of that I'm feeling today. I left here yesterday in a top mood. Yeah, let's just leave it there. I left here in a top mood. We had a conversation just before, but anyway, got up the Parliament, mate, and the anger, frustration, anxieties, and then the depression of it all. Yeah. I suppose I'm still harbouring it or feeling that today, just so frustrated with it all. Because as it is, at this stage, it looks like no matter what we do, come the end of 2023, the voice of Parliament's coming in whether anyone fucking wants it or not.
I'm with you, Dan.
Yeah, mate.
With you.
Well, it'd be just nice for the people to have a fucking say, but this is just going to be rammed down the throats again.
Well, yeah, well, that's right. If they actually were going to give us the option to, they're not allowing any negative publicity.
Yeah.
None negative publicity at all. And you know, when there's no negative publicity, because there's always people that oppose everything. So if there's no negative publicity at all, you know it's all been streamlined. You know it's all been controlled. If there was some negative and some positive, then you'd know, okay, there's a fair chance that they're going to give us a fair say.
Yeah.
But because there's no negatives, you know that's all bullshit, and you know you're going to get it. The vote is not there. It's not a vote. It's a selection again. And they don't just have a choice. They don't just have a voice on Aboriginal-based things. It's all legislation. And it's going to be controlled by a corporation somewhere.
And a tax to go with it.
Oh, what's this thing about fucking Dan putting price of fuel up down in
50 cents. Yeah.
50 cents, that can't happen. People will not take that.
It's like, look, I mean, well, this is going to be funny to watch in a way. Is how far are they going to get away with it before the people finally get their backbones, mate?
They put it up $1 in the last 4 years.
But then someone will get up and fight just on the fuel prices and forget to link everything else really go together, mate.
And they'll take the fuel prices away.
Yeah.
And people go, we won.
Oh, we won. Oh, yeah.
You never fucking lost. That was a big fucking blindside.
I never realised that they just fell for the old Stockholm syndrome.
Look over here.
Yeah. The distractions become the brainwash. Here comes Nan. Oh, everyone gets a hug today. Sweet. Oh, g'day, Noel. How are you? He's had his cheeses. I got a little bit jealous. I have to take you over and show you Phil's new car. He was on Phil's tailgate there.
Yeah, he was on my tailgate, not yours.
No, I know. I didn't get jealous. I didn't.
My tailgate.
But I had the cheeses, see? So he came for the cheeses. So we can go holidaying in America again with no restrictions. That'd be nice. That was my plan back in 2020. It was my New Year's resolution. I was like, that's it. I'm going to the USA. I'm going to America. But I never got there. It all went to poo. I hear you, Nubby. so to speak. And kids could come in handy. I'm trying to pronounce what position's best. Lobby. Yeah, I know it's there. That's where they take us. Certainly get rid of the nasties. Ivor, Dan, take some Ivor. Don't say liver. I'm not into... That'd be awful. Yeah, well thanks. I'm just shooting the breeze. Yeah, I've got to get off my bloody chest. Anyway, let's go for a walk. Let's go see Nan. Let's go look at Phil's car. More ranting. So, this is an El Grande.
El Grande.
19-inch rims. For sale if for the possible buyer comes up with the right price. Because it's a four-wheel drive.
Selectable four-wheel drive.
Selectable four-wheel drive.
Rear drive normally.
Yep.
Selectable four-wheel drive.
On the side, all cushy, cosy.
Cozy, lots of seats. Electric blank, what do you call them? Curtains on every
Electric
window.
curtains.
On every window.
No.
So you can close all the curtains.
Wow.
Yeah. Double sunroof.
Double sunroof.
Twin DVD player. One drops down out of the roof, and one on the screen at the front.
So
there.
you can be twice distracted.
Twice
but
distracted.
don't text and drive.
No, well, it probably doesn't allow you to run it while you're driving. The front one.
It comes with sausages.
Comes with sausages.
Gas burner.
Oh, it's got an inverter in it too.
Oh yeah, nice.
Built-in inverter.
I can see that in that little compartment there.
Yeah, built-in inverter.
Built-in compartment, little slide down. Yeah, wow.
Yep. So you can run your household appliances. Rear 12
Good morning,
volts.
Mikael. How you doing?
And a ladder.
Ladder
and a
on the
rack.
roof. Yeah, I see. Ladder, roof rack. He's stoked with it.
Yes.
Electric curtains. Golly. Got a go fast cover on the steering wheel. These batteries charging. Oh, grande. Yeah, so you can shorten the rims, go shorter rims, and put your all-terrain tyres on there and select a full drive. The plates are inside the car. He's using some sort of dealer plate at the moment. I don't know. I don't get that stuff. But that's their industry. Limited. That carpet is limited. Got a big chrome limited on the carpet.
Yeah. We've got a carpet protector on it.
Yeah, like a Scotch guard.
Mats, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's got mats.
Oh, mats on top of the
On
carpet.
top of the carpet, yeah, like full factory ones.
Yeah, plenty of interesting features. You can adjust.
Everything.
Take the seats out and put a bed in the little.
Oh, the seats all fold down
All
into
fold
a bed.
down into a bed. Yeah, right.
They all
Of
go
course they
flat.
do.
It's coming. It's
Transformers.
cooking.
Luxury in disguise. Leave the people. The Commonwealth. Evil bounds when good people stay silent and say nothing. It is time to expose 28. Will you speak up? Better put that mirror back. Keep them cosy. Noel's sitting over there with Corey now.
It's selectable four-wheel drive, like it's an actual four-wheel drive, not an all-wheel drive. Well, I can send you a guy who uses them in the bush in WA, and I have the 3-inch lift kit for this. I already bought it. And you can drive it. This is V6. So nice powerful engine.
Powerful engine.
High-speed automatic. Case like
V6. He said like 3.5 litre or something like that.
And
He's stoked with it. I can understand that.
a video of one the guy uses
Yeah, beautiful day. potentially from here. As in warm, it's not going to be cold, and if they set up the 4 mils of rain, there'd be the odd intermittent rain shower, I suppose, but we can deal with that. There was a real chilly wind earlier, but it's stopped now, come to a complete stop. Yeah, the crow's over there. I can see the crow now. He's on that yellow sign. He's sitting there. There he is on top of that yellow sign. So there's your crow. But the other birds won't let him near. So yeah, they've got their own issues, these birds. They've got a pecking order. Yeah, I can't even change your own pecking orders here in this reality, let alone jump in on the birds and then try and tell them what their pecking order is. It's sort of like a football team, you know, if they can't even win their own bloody football games, well then they really shouldn't be embarking outside of that area of expertise until they can. Just stay out of it. Just worry about your football games. Yeah, it's exactly like that, Helen. I know we've been going for 460 days and still feel like we haven't fully explained the
479 days.
479. Jeez, the last bloody 19 went quick.
Well,
yeah. Now that we're here, of course.
473 days.
Yeah, we're in there. We're past the 470.
I'm going to not be here for day 500.
Aren't you? Oh. We'll have to have a big day, 500. We'll have to have cake and steak and... These guys. That's not Noggin, that's another magpie. Noggin's already been in this morning. Bringing the joy. So 11 minutes until that thing on the radio.
Actually, they're talking about to try and stop genetically engineered babies at the moment, which is quite good.
Oh, good. That's exactly what it is. Because when they first started it sounded like that they were
completely woke.
Yeah. Oh, this is some sort of sanity creeping in there.
About genetically engineered babies, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. But no, he's anti-it.
Anti-it, good. Oh, well, it's not all doom and gloom then, there's hope.
See, Noel's parents were fine, but they genetically engineered their baby, and that's what came out.
One-legged seagull. Punnet of strawberries yesterday was $6.29. Yeah. I remember when they were cheap because you could just about walk down the road and every front yard had the strawberries in the front yard. Yeah, I did. I saw the hole there. Well, it could be for sale. He's a bit hesitant to let it go though. He's fallen in love with that one. And then he rocks up this morning. Phil rocks up this morning. He goes, "Guess what? You'll never believe what I did yesterday." And straight away I goes, "Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I should have just thought about it. I should have just taken a moment and just thought about it. And I would have said, don't tell me you bought another car, Phil." I said, "No, I don't know. What did you do, Phil?" "I bought another car." I don't even tell her.
Not me. No reason why I own 22 cars.
Not me. I don't know. He did a good job too. Cheap car, super cheap. Fixed it on the spot. They sold it because it didn't work. He fixed it on the spot, bought it cheap. But he probably get 500% on the money if he sells it again.
Yeah. They weren't a good engine because they're actually a modified petrol motor.
£6.68 a gallon petrol there. Jeez. Would it be like $3 Aussie to a pound around about? No. Sorry. Yeah, $2 to a pound at least. No, that still doesn't sound right. Yeah, disregard. Went off on a tangent and didn't bridge the gap. Yeah, because petrol here's actually petrol's a lot cheaper. You're about $1.80 for petrol, $1.90 for petrol. $1.76. That's all right. So I'm paying $2 basically. Diesel for diesel. So it's double.
Diesel's expensive because they've got to get the price of shipping up to make it more expensive for you to live.
Yeah, that's right, mate. They're trying to phase me out, trying to phase me Isuzu out. But that to me that price sounds excessive, Nobby. He's saying £6.68. Oh, that's a gallon. So there's no way I could even try and, because we're talking litres. There's probably 2 litres to a gallon, is there?
There's 5.2 litres to a gallon.
Oh, right. Well then, yeah, that probably brings it back down to a bit more. Yeah.
Is it 5.2 or 4.2 litres to a gallon? The mower can is a gallon. 4.5, I think it is.
Yeah, 4 point something.
Yeah, 4.5 to a gallon. You remember the old mower?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he's
A gallon. So it'd be 4.5. So what's the price of fuel over there at the moment?
$6.68 a gallon. That's a pound it is, but that's pound, see?
Pound.
Which means it's more than the dollar.
Well, we get a fair. The conversion rate, £1 is like $2. I think $2 or something, nearly $2 Australian.
It sounds excessive, but now we're looking at it, actually sounds like he might have it cheaper than
I
us.
think he's got it slightly cheaper than
Yeah.
3.78.
2.78.
3.78 litres to a gallon.
Yeah, so it sounds about par actually. It's 3.78, it's about par.
About par, righto. I don't feel any smarter, but we just went through the process, and yeah, we're on par. Well done. Right on par.
You've got to remember, they can drive from one side of the country and another in 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Well, I think Nobby's still able to, being a Yorkshire person, but Oxfordshire, I don't think they can do that. All locked up in their smart city. He wants to know if your old granddad has flaps.
There's what?
If your old granddad has flaps.
There's flaps.
Flaps down.
Landing flaps?
Landing flaps.
It's got flaps, but they're not landing flaps.
And if he has flaps, they'd be automatic. They'd be electric as well.
Yeah, that'd be electric.
They'd be electric
Those
flaps.
flaps would be electric.
They would be, mate. Open and close on wheel. Don't go there, Nobby. Don't, Nobby. No. I don't know what you're thinking, mate. Go on, pick it up.
There are ladies and children listening, Nobby, and watching.
Nan just told you, Nobby. You've been told by Nan. Luckily, we've just sidetracked Nan with a bacon and egg sandwich, so you're right.
No, downgrade today. It's sausage.
Excuse me. Sausage today. We're on
Bill
sausage.
just gave Dana a sausage.
It was one of them days. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Oh, the old Canberra wet nose. Oh, I'm having fun now anyway. Morning, Denise. Does it come with a driver? Potentially. Well, we'll put it this way. If Max Egan wants to come to Canberra and actually stand in the fight with us, that's the car we were going to allow him. All right, Max Egan, if you want to come to Canberra and help us in the fight, even if it's for a short period of time, and show us how to do it, give us a few good ideas.
Oh, he can bunk with Gronk.
Well, he can bunk with Gronk. Well, Gronk's on his way now, but that's the car. That's how... Yeah, mate, we were going to put that into Max Egan if he wanted to come to Canberra, and I think it's still available. Is the offer still on? If Max Egan wanted to come to Canberra for a week or two, we could put him up in a car, in that van, yeah? Mate, first class, mate.
Electric curtains and all.
Electric curtains and all.
If we haven't got the van, we've got the Subaru wagon.
He doesn't just get accommodation here. He gets the best accommodation we've got.
The best one we've got.
Yeah, Gronk's here. That shit. Oh, must have missed it. That's a Nissan. I think he was saying you can get up to 15 grand for it.
Yeah.
He didn't pay that much for it, I'll tell you right now, mate. He's pretty savvy.
Nice.
But when you're trying to survive here, that's, you've got to be creative. You've got to work hard in other areas. So we're not working harder, just working smarter.
Yeah, we've got one, yeah.
Never ever yield to their crimes. Airstream van renovations, amazing. Airstream. Okay. Oh, look, film now. Morning, Gronk. Consent cannot be mandated, and yet they do. Bird flu, swine flu, mad cow, rabies, plague, salmonella, COVID, chickenpox, monkeypox. Not sure if I should see a doctor or a vet.
Really hates the fun.
He rides it. The months are flying by. Please forgive the administration and beneficiary wishes for the fine of $1,100 charged to the state. What am I missing there? Sorry, I've missed something there. I'll catch up, no doubt. Yeah, only gaffers are cheaper. £6. £6 is 11 Aussie dollars, 11.37 Aussie dollars. Yeah, right. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Doesn't make it right. There's no way we should be paying those prices. You're based on Tesla's knowledge died mysteriously. Yep. And I think just about all of them did. But that's some of the light that we can help bridge the gap for this cold hard truth. Is all that tech. That this unconstitutional government has convinced the men and women of this country that they're responsible for climate change and they're killing this country. Yet they all get away with it, mate. Now, if they just released some of this tech and all these inventions back to the people who actually own it and stop swallowing up and putting them behind a veil that no one can even see, even acknowledge anymore, well, then that's part of bridging the gap. The light, the freedom is a lot better than they could ever. They're not even trying to. Oh man, I'm just so angry about it all. You know what I'm saying? It is frustrating.
Everything went sideways.
Did you see the big fire in Sydney?
Yeah, seems
That wasn't the Mason building, was it?
I didn't click on the link. I just saw more fire and thought, yep, here we go. Yep, here we go. They all start. It's starting in Australia now. In the US, they seem to be derailing trains, but here they seem to be burning down buildings.
Apartment building, 7-story in Surrey Hills.
Sorry?
Remember that building in bloody London that burnt, mate, and killed those people? Yeah, I remember that one. That wasn't that long ago. Free flapping. Leave my puddings alone. That sun's coming out in the arse. Turn slightly. Oh, back again. Let's keep reading these feeds. Sharon, common law chat group. Senator Helen and extensive research. Oh, we must be getting close to the interview. Exactly, Denise. No, that's where I'm getting. You guys know. Christine, now, yeah, we've got this on channel now, apparently, the radio, have we?
Right, and GM food.
Well, there's that as well, but they're jumping right in there, making their highest priority the genetic engineering of human beings, which doesn't seem the right way to go exactly.
How does it compare to an organ transplant?
Well, not at all, and in fact that's been one of the ways in which some expert members of the Parliament and also experts giving advice to the Senate have actually sought to mislead. Organ transplants, of course, you do that within a human being and it doesn't confer any genetic trait which is going to be passed on to the children or grandchildren or future descendants of that person. Whereas what we're talking about here is creating a child for a particular purpose, to be free of mitochondrial disease, which is going to then pass on those genetic traits to all future generations. So we're starting to tinker with the human gene pool in a very serious way, and these are permanent and irreversible changes. They don't have the consent of the broad community, and the experimenters have no idea at this stage whether it'll be successful or what the results will be. And worldwide, both scientists, politicians, policymakers and the public are saying we don't want the manipulation of the human genome in ways that's going to be passed on to future generations. It's prohibited, except for that one carve-out in the UK, and we're about to get it as well. And I think the ambition is to create, for Australia to be in the vanguard of genomics research. That's why they gave the $500 million over 10 years for this kind of experimentation. It's very ambitious. And I think it's very wrong-headed as well, particularly when you don't have the consent of the Australian public or indeed the knowledge.
Yeah, there's very little transparency in this, right?
Oh, extremely. Very, very little indeed. So we need to have a thoroughgoing public discussion about this. Interestingly, in parallel with this, there is a process being managed by the University of Canberra.
Here we go.
To you.
Here we go.
This is a unit there which is got an interest in so-called citizens' juries or consensus conferences, they used to be called. And the University of Tasmania is involved as well, its genetics and law department. Now, the Tasmanian connection is that the chair of the committee that will be issuing the licenses for this work is involved also in these citizens' jury processes. And the first of those was held in June of last year in Canberra, when they got 23 ordinary Australians together for 4 days. They gave them expert advice about what human genome editing would do and what it is. And then got them to recommend that these things were okay and that they could go ahead. Now, the interesting thing in the
You couldn't make this stuff up, right? This is just fodder for a bad science fiction movie.
Well, it is bad too, because at the conclusion they did a survey of how the participants had felt about the process, and what was a standout was that half of them said that they thought that the expert advice that they'd been given was one-sided, that it was unfair and didn't fairly represent what was proposed. And interestingly, although it was purportedly about human genome manipulation, which is this global push by the international summits, which is the Australians want to project it into a number of other countries, and have already lined up the USA, the UK, Brazil, to hold their own citizens' juries as well. They also tagged on, what do you think about the mitochondrial bill? And
you're just casually off to the side there?
Yeah, that's right. They obviously weren't able to get a consensus, because a subset of the people who were participating then came up with the recommendation, which wasn't accepted by the consensus conference or the citizens' jury as a whole, to say, the mitochondrial experimentation and commercialisation would be okay. So we've got, I think, a group of insiders in the National Health and Medical Research Council, in certain universities, and in this process, engineering an outcome, and as well as engineering our genetics. And hopefully the Senate next Tuesday will take all of this into account and not be bluffed into accepting the unacceptable. Because again, I come back, we're talking intergenerational equity. Young people are now demanding that the future for them is not determined now in a way that is irreversible and negative in relation to climate change, and a whole raft of other things. And here we've got exactly that process going on in relation to our genetics. It's not acceptable. It's not doesn't respect the human rights of the child who will be born in these experiments, or their descendants, and those changes will be irreversible. And the IVF industry that's doing it is pretty sus. We've now got a very strong movement of the 100,000 donor-conceived people in Australia who now find that they've got tens or hundreds of half-brothers and sisters as a result of the policies of the IVF industry in the past, and are in danger of marrying their brothers and sisters. These are not insignificant issues that are starting to be addressed, but here, with the Mito Bill, we're venturing into the same territory, giving the IVF industry a new tool in its toolbox, which it very likely will misuse. And
with all that money behind it, absolutely, there's a cause for concern, because as soon as you do the follow the money, you know who stands to benefit and who's going to be doing the heavy pushing.
Yes, indeed. So we can sympathise with the people who have mitochondrial disease, and it comes in very many shapes and forms. A lot of people don't even know that they've got that genetic mutation. So it goes from there down to the children, the 50 children who are born annually, who are suffering the disease and are going to probably have a short life. But they shouldn't be used or misused as the poster children for this high risk and unfair experimentation, which is now being legislated through our parliament without our consent.
Yes. So we're just going to have to leave it there, Bob. Unfortunately, we do have another guest coming in via the phone shortly, but I just wanted to reiterate for our listeners who would like to take action. The Senate is going to be meeting on February the 8th, and if you would like to do cyber action, that you can go to Senate Vote No to mitobill.good.do/vote no to Mito, and that is somewhere where you can register your opinion about this. Is that correct there?
That's correct, and anybody who wants to contact me can do that. info@genethics, so genethics, GENEETHICS.org. will find me by email, or give us a bell here, 0449 769 066, and would be very happy to hear from anybody who wants to engage and to particularly tell with 2 senators in the ACT or in New South Wales, the 12 senators there, that they should vote no to the bill next Tuesday.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Bob. That is Bob Phelps, who is Executive Director of Gene Ethics, talking about the Mito Bill and saying no to GM babies. So thank you, Bob, for joining us. We'll catch up with you in the future with a follow-up.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're still waiting for the interview. Rock, what are you doing? I already caught you before I realised what was going on. He's just putting a sticker on his door. It looks suspicious, but he's just putting a sticker on his door. Like Phil the other day. Just going to turn that down.
Dan, what do you reckon? A better sticker?
That is a better sticker. You've got it straight, mate. I can see what
Yeah.
you're trying to do. You're just trying to get it level with it.
Yeah, have to line it up properly.
Yeah.
It looks good now.
It does, mate.
Thanks for letting me know it's crooked.
No worries, mate. Well, it is the red ensign after all.
Yeah. The ensign's got to be straight.
G'day.
Hello.
There's no cheeses, there's no food, no.
Yeah, welcome to everybody's welcome to join us.
Okay, boys. I don't know what that is.
No, there's nothing there.
No.
Just scratching.
Come here. Hey, treat. Treat. Come on, treat. Come here. Here, Chrissy.
You'll get a free breakfast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For nothing. Come on. Okay, don't you? Oh.
Tell you what, that'll put a smile on your face having 2 dogs like that every day with you. Come over to here to get the breakfast and the crumbs. Yeah, the interview's still to come on, so anywhere between 9:30 and 10 we said. Oh, we were told, sorry. Yeah. Oh, mate. Where are we at? Family members are so asleep, all the mine are. Well, the mine are as well.
Looks like kangaroo
It's
sausage.
frustrating when all we want to do is love and support and guide them. I know it is. It's really, yeah, Helen. That's why I talk to you guys. You help me through. Land taxes, electric hills, raising by 25%. Things are coming to a critical mass. Yeah. Good morning, Dan Tilders. Hoping the rest of the asleep will I'll look wake and day in no more. Something like that, but yeah. Really praying for them to be conscious. You've got the woke agenda and then the great awakening. Those that are wide awake, they're conscious, they can connect the dots through history and see those moments of deceit, see it all. I can't believe I'm wishing that on people, but if we don't wake up and become conscious to it all, we'd be fucked. But luckily we've got God on our side. If God is with us, who can be against us? Whoa! That's the shit. That's what I'm talking about. For Australian PMA groups.
He's doing it, send me that picture.
don't, sorry. It's a 100cc scrambler. 59 pence a gallon there. Well, they're now putting it into perspective, mate, yeah. Production engineers and council planners doing whatever they want, serving the Chinese. China. Donna Boccolade, good day to you. G'day, g'day. I was about to say morning. We are in morning. I really appreciated Joseph's prayer the other day, really bringing that to the front. Yeah, if you like a slot, 21, that's even. That's 42. Well, there's so many distractions, mate. Yeah, I find that I've got to be very switched on the road, and you've got to be, but you've really got to pay attention. You can't just sort of wander off in your mind for a second. You know, that needle just creeps up, and there's fucking surveillance everywhere, and another camera watching the mobiles, and Google tubes telling you where to go, and yeah, a lot of distractions on the road. Yeah, I said they put a big mobile camera surveillance thing across the road, and then driving down the road, and you sort of look up and go, whoa, what the fuck is that? Boom, 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 through the potholes. You're like, come on, mate, just fix the roads, just get that right. Oh, apology accepted. I've got to meet Margaret, I tell you. Just to see her lie in pure and clean. There in Harvey Bay, you've got to come up there and see her. There is a Chinese Oz-Trump realtor in Elizabeth at Melbourne. See how that goes. Baby making artificial wombs. And that's what I mean about consciousness. Someone might just get angry driving to work on that point. They'll be very angry. But then they won't have time to connect the dots and then get really conscious with it all, because he's currently in the city trying to find a car's park, wondering how he's going to, trying to find the coins in his pocket. Got a meeting at 10 a.m. Got to put on a big bloody, presentation to the board. Panic, got to be home by bloody 4. The kid's got to go to the dentist. Son's got to go to soccer. Distraction. Won't have the chance to even put the pieces together. Totally distracted, let alone when the footy comes on the weekend. Football, distraction. Politics, brainwash. Private Members Association. I've had a chat on the Private Members Associations. I'm wary of them. And I'm happy to talk about that again. Barbara Woodhouse. We got a Barbara Woodhouse. What am I missing now? What's gone over my head now?
Medical professionals, first responders, military servicemen and women, pilots, business professionals, and even, sadly, children. The forest is erected each week to bring attention to the plight and educate the public about the real people behind Big Pharma and MSM's denial.
Looks like we're going to go live on this interview now. We'll probably do our proclamation after the interview at this stage.
Welcome to the conversation. We have joining us via phone, we have Sophie, who actually started the Forest of the Fallen.
Come over here with Corey.
We have Christine, who is a Forest of the Fallen ambassador and caretaker and part of the Canberra crew. And then joining us live in studio, we have Karen and Joel, who are also the Forest of the Fallen ambassadors and caretakers of the Canberra installation. So welcome everyone to the show. We're just going to make sure everybody can hear everyone. So can you hear us, Sophie?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful, okay. And how about you, Christine, on the other line? Are you good to hear us?
Yes, can hear loud and clear.
Wonderful. And Karen and Joel, you can hear everybody else? Fantastic. All right, so that sounds like we've got everybody on air, which is a bit of a feat when I'm by myself and Scotty's not here, because there's a lot of multitasking going on behind the scenes. Anyway, I guess the best way to start, Selkie, let's start with you. You are the creator of the Forest of the Fallen. Would you be able to give us a bit of background on how you were inspired to do this and what led you to this point in time?
Okay, so I do believe there was can you hear me okay?
Yes, yeah, really good. Thank you, Selkie.
Yes, great. There was a display back in 2020, I think, that was in Brisbane, and it was about 100, but I noticed that they were all overseas, all stories from overseas in America, and I thought, you know, we've got that many here in Australia, why doesn't someone do that many here? And so I waited for about 3 or 4 months and no one had done it, so I stuck a stick in the ground, and that was in October 2021. So yeah, that's...
And where was that? What part of Australia did you do that in?
Tasmania.
Okay, in Tasmania, wonderful. And what was the initial reaction to that first stick in the ground?
Not nice. Back in 2021 there was a lot more denial than there is today. So yeah, there was people, one of the most common was that I should be ashamed of myself, and you know, it's not nice at all. And it's very different.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Selkie.
Yeah, it's very different today when we do it. It's not often that happens.
Yes, and I think that now with the additional time between that first installation and now, there's been a lot more fallout, so there's obviously a lot more people asking questions and you know, being prepared to speak out about their concerns as well.
Well, there's a lot more displays, that's for sure.
Yeah. And Christine, what led you to get involved in the Forest of the Fallen?
I just needed to get the stories out. I'd sit there and listen to the news, and you'd hear all about, you know, so many people tested for COVID, and then next minute was, you know, vaccine and boosters, and you just don't hear about the injuries and the deaths. So we just felt that we had to do something and get the voices out there, get their stories out there.
Another thing I really want to reiterate for our listeners, this is a display of vaccinated people. Everybody in this display has been vaccinated, and for the most part, most of them were very pro-vaccine and very supportive of the narrative. So this is not an anti-vaxxer display at all. It's a recognition of those who have been injured by the vaccine, and I want to really stress that. So Karen, what was your role? You've been overseas for a while and you've come back, and did you see any of these displays overseas?
No, I didn't, because I actually came back before all this really got into full swing. So I'm working on almost 2 years back home in Australia now. So the first time I ever saw what I didn't realise was Forest of the Fallen was down in Melbourne in October last year. Had gone with a friend, and walked into this display of all these cards, and I thought, like, we've got to bring this to Canberra. It was very confronting, it was very emotional. Bumped into another friend in the middle of the display and from Canberra, and said, look, we've got to bring this to town. And a few months later we were actually approached by a fellow who had the cards, so we arranged to get them, and
we've seen the cards. These are like the posters that people see put into the ground. Like a real estate stake sign.
No, he actually had just the cards printed and laminated. So a few of us got together and we bought the bamboo sticks and all the flowers and the black ribbons for the people who passed away.
Corey had a lot to do with that too. Good on you,
we put the display together. For me at that time, I didn't realise it was the Forest of the Fallen. I just knew that we needed to have these stories come into Canberra, and so that's how it started for me. Just connected with a few of the others here in town, and
And there's been some disbelief, and sorry, I'm just jumping in front of you there, Joel, that this didn't exist in Canberra. There's a lot of talk about it being a fiction. And that, it wasn't until I think you guys got some coverage online that people actually started to take it seriously.
Yeah, no, that's true. And actually we do have a card. There's a couple, but we did bring one who is from Canberra. She unfortunately passed away. And very sheltered here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And the most vaccinated city in Australia too, I believe.
So they say.
Yeah. So Joel, what led you to become involved in Forest of the Fallen? Because I've seen you around a lot, you know, bringing attention to all sorts of issues. And is this something that's a particular passion of yours?
Yeah, well, now that we're looking around Australia and looking around the world at the amount of people getting injured by these so-called vaccines.
For gene therapy?
Yeah, well, we can call it that. And I believe it was saying we were down in Victoria last year, and I was really taken when we seen the placards set up and just reading the stories. It was just, it really hits a point, and it's very it's easy for people just to come up and actually get involved and read. It's not getting pushed down anyone's throats. We're not saying, you know, we're anti-vax or anything like that. We're just helping people tell their stories. And
we're bringing attention to something that's not getting coverage, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so from there, when we started putting them together here, leading up until the first time that we actually came down into the middle of Civic here and put them up, and just watching the transition of locals here, that you know, that they were walking up and go, oh my goodness, that was what was wrong with me, or that was what was wrong with a family friend, or you know, a family relative. So it's unfortunately this is the way that we are going to wake people up and let them see that this is what's going on. So I just believe that there should be, I mean, now there is, I believe, over 90 Australia-wide doing the same thing.
So it's a 90 installations?
Yeah, 90. Wow. Yeah, and
that's fantastic.
So I mean, it's just people need to be aware of what's going on, and so this is a great way to make people aware. And you know, it's not about discriminating the people that are vaccinated, obviously, because these people, as we've touched on, they're all pro-vaxxers, and that is, you know, unfortunately what has happened. These people believed in their government, believed in their doctors, believed in their chemists, believed in the people that were administering.
Believe the narrative.
Yeah, believe the narrative, exactly, yeah. So, and now it's the swing here in Canberra. It's in the last 4 months. We can see that people are actually becoming more aware. So.
And how I met you guys was I was actually on the Esplanade a few weeks back, and I was waiting in the line up to use the public toilets. And behind me there was a couple of young girls who had just noticed the display, and this was the first time they'd come across this information, and it was really interesting to watch their reaction to it and to see their surprise initially, their deep empathy and concern for what they were reading. I could hear a few comments they were making, like, oh my God, that one's a doctor, that one's a fireman. You know, it was this real people, you know, there wasn't this sort of group of fringe dwellers that people have associated anything that contradicts the official narrative with. And it was really good to see people being open to looking at the information, walking around, reading the stories, having that empathy, connection and feeling for the people and the loss of their loved ones. And that's really shifted. Like 6 months ago, I don't think we would have seen as much of that.
No. Yeah, exactly. Especially here, and over the last few months, we've actually had 2 people that have come up, and they said they had written the story for the people on the placards. So for that to be said in front of other people as well, that just brings the belief out there. So
we're finding more and more men and women every week that are coming up and actually open to telling their stories. So sometimes they're really hesitant and sort of do this, you know, they come up and they're not sure who they can talk to, or whether they're going to talk to somebody, and some people just come up straight out and say that there's a lot more and more I'm finding every week. More and more people are coming up and actually willing to open up and tell their stories. At the very beginning, the first one I remember we put up in Civic, we had one man who we were nervous because it was the first time we'd ever done this, and we had one man that was reading the cards, and he came up and he said, "Thank you for doing this. This needs to be done. It's really important." And from there, every week, and there's probably 1, 2, 3. There's probably about maybe between 5 and 6 of us that are down there every week with the display, and every single one of us are having amazing and emotional conversations with men and women that are coming up and telling their stories.
Beautiful.
More and more people.
So I imagine this question is probably being asked by our listeners. How do you collect the stories? Like how do you find out about the people that are on the placards, and how do you determine whether or not you're going to share their story?
That's Silky.
Was Silky question? Okay.
Oh, hello.
Yes, hi, Silky. So how do you find the stories, and how do you determine if they're a story that you feel should be displayed?
Okay, so they're all so I've been watching vaccine injuries for quite a while, so I was always on alert, multiple sites. So they're all taken from any publicised story in public domain. There's probably about 75% of them represent in Jab Injuries Australia. And that's where a lot of people go to share their stories, and there's a lot of support going on there. So it's a good place to start. Many of them come from the news, different news articles. So
things that have been reported in media?
Yep, absolutely. Many are from news.com.au or Mercury or The Advertiser or channels on mainstream news television. So
And have you come across anybody personally that you've chosen to add?
Yeah, so now almost every day people are coming forward and sharing their stories personally to the Forest of the Fallen. So I've got a bit of a backlog to add some more. So
The beautiful thing about your display, as you've mentioned, it is a silent display, so it's one for people to come and reflect and to read and take in that information. It's not a protest of any kind. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and it's not supposed to be used for anything around protests or rallies, but people have been using them. But it's definitely its protocol is to be a silent display and allow witnesses to make up their own mind. It's got nothing to do with any of us, the coordinators, and we're just the messengers. And that way it takes away the judgment, and people can, and all of the posters have links to where they can go to find the original story.
It's wonderful. There's a lot of transparency, which is great, because you're still going to, I'm sure, come across people who are not open to hearing this and would like to state, that it's not the truth. So this is, I'm guessing, for a lot of people, touches those who've been impacted, and if you've been fortunate enough not to have been impacted in any way and not to have noticed any adverse reaction, it might be a hard pill to swallow for some. So how do you engage with those who maybe aren't as open to receiving this information that's on display?
That's a really good question, because at the moment what we're seeing all around Australia is people are often quick to judge it and quick to sort of say, wow, that's an anti-vaccine, stay away. But the minute they actually take the step forward and have a look at what it actually is, there's been a lot of, we've had the Bathurst council worker who had no idea what it was about and judged it before looking at it. And then when he went and had a look at it, he completely did a 180 and apologised and realised that this was people's lives. And he's done a public apology, and I do believe this weekend he's going to have a photograph taken of him, hopefully, standing in front of the display and showing Australia that the Bathurst Council, or he at least, supports forest reform, which is pretty beautiful, I think. And we should also welcome that rather than attack people that apologise and realise that they were wrong. We shouldn't attack them, and we should welcome apologies. That's how we're going to have change, and that's how we're going to have, allow more people to come forward and look. So yeah, great things happen.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, it's so great when someone can make that step. Like I think in every poignant moment in history when there's been something that's the status quo, but it's something that's a great injustice, and then people start to become open and wake up and make that step across and embrace, the new information. It's really amazing. That's how societies transform and evolve, right? That's how we have compassion for each other and, become better human beings rather than this whole, the divisive tactics that have been used across the globe, not just recently, but, throughout history, have a bit about, separating us and pointing out our differences rather than what makes us, human together. And this is a really beautiful way of acknowledging those people that don't have a voice. So the other thing that perhaps one of you want to touch on too is that it's very difficult to report a vaccine injury. I understand that there's quite a process, and it often is prohibitive for people being able to report. So what have you found around people trying to get their stories out and not being able to get acknowledgement for what they're experiencing, or being told it's in their head, or being told that it's not related to the vaccine?
I think that's why Jabbing Australia essentially was formed, because people were just getting pushed. They just weren't getting anywhere, even reporting to the TGA or whatever. They just weren't getting anywhere. People talk about compensations, and that rarely ever has happened. And so I think Jabbing Australia was formed so that people could have a voice and feel like at least that they've been heard and they've been able to speak out. So a lot of the times when people come to me and they've got stories and they've experienced a death of a loved one, or they're really, really unwell and they know it was the vaccine, the first thing I say is just write it down, get it out there, because otherwise no one would know.
So paying attention to what they're experiencing in the way of symptoms too, I imagine, is a big part of that, because things can appear not to be connected. A lot of the symptoms can appear to be unrelated, but over time they can be all linked together. So I was looking at not just the ACT government, the Australian government's vaccine claims scheme, which was established in 2021, or the VCS as they call it, and it was implemented to cover losses and expenses of over $1,000 for people who suffer moderate to severe impact. Now, offering someone $1,000 who can no longer work, who can no longer walk, who is having seizures. There's so many injuries that are prohibitive from people living any kind of normal life. It sounds pretty paltry. Have you had anybody who's had any success at getting their claims acknowledged or recognised and given a realistic support at all? Anyone can jump in and answer this. I'm sort of asking open questions, so whoever feels comfortable answering the question, please jump in.
Well, when we look at Channel 7 recently, airing the compensation for the vaccine injured, which is being finally, it's been a while, but now they are actually acknowledging what's going on. I'm not sure of the lawyers who are doing it. Their name has slipped my mind, but that lawyer firm has approximately 2,170 odd cases that they are fighting for.
So this is, I think we're talking to the class action with NR Barbie solicitors, is that the one?
Is that correct?
Yeah, provided it in a class action with the Australian government.
And so that itself is it's a great thing to promote this is what's happening. So
she did mention that there was one of her clients actually received a large payout. It was compensation, but like you said, $1,000, it's really...
Yeah. What's that, a week's work for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, it's pretty pitiful. It's like a slap in the face, isn't it?
And the amount of energy that's required from someone who's not well to have to navigate the process of being able to apply for the scheme as well.
We understand it is difficult. You have to have apparently hospital stays, or you have to have a lot of proof. And they're certainly not making it easy for people to apply. But I think, having this display it's a way for people to open up and actually even sometimes begin to tell their stories.
And there's a lot of stigma attached to speaking out as well, a little less so now as we progress through, but I think it takes a lot of courage, and what you guys are doing is incredible, the courage for you to stand there and accept all comers, whether they're supportive or they're not open to hearing. It's a pretty important thing. This is the only way you can get voices heard. It's like when we played that song earlier, 10,000 Voices. It was about the voices, 10,000 people who hadn't been acknowledged with their voices during their life, and it took their death to acknowledge their voices.
And somebody has to stand up for these people. Somebody has to get the stories out, and we're willing to do that.
So Chris, we haven't given you a bit of airtime for a while. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us about your time working with the installation in Canberra?
Well, what I've noticed, like from the beginning we had a few, upset people that felt that we were making it all up. But on the whole, we just got hundreds and hundreds of positive feedback from people. We had people coming up to us I had a couple of people come up and said that they hadn't had the vaccine, but they actually had to lie to their family or work colleagues and that because of they just get a hard time if they were unvaxxed. They were called anti-vaxxers and whatnot, so they were grateful that we're putting the story out there, putting other people's stories out there, because as I would say to some people that if they did say anything like anti-vaxxers, and I'd say, no, look, these people believed in the government, they believed in the vaccine, they've had the vaccine, and this is their story, and the only way we can get their story out there is by us putting it out there, and all the other people that are doing it around Australia and around the world, for that matter. We need to get their stories out there because they're heartbreaking. Every time I put the placards up, I read another half a dozen news stories. Well, they're not news stories; they're in there, but I just haven't read them, and they're heartbreaking. Some of the stories, just horrific, especially those with children, those that,
How many children are dying from myocarditis?
It's absolutely heartbreaking, some of the stories with the placards.
Good question.
So, a lot of the stories that I was looking at in preparation for chatting with you guys, the majority of the people who are speaking out now were incredibly supportive of the vaccine rollout at the beginning, were incredibly supportive of the pharmaceutical industry and coming up with a vaccine so quickly, and that's a whole other story in itself, which we probably don't have time to get into today. But there's one lady who was recently interviewed on, I think it was on Cafe Locked Out, which some of you may remember. Cafe Locked Out, we had Michael Gregoris on the show a couple of times. Previously, once when they were travelling on their road trip around Australia, collecting stories from the last 3 years, and then previously during the convoy to Canberra when Michael was actually arrested live on air while we had him on air. But this lady he interviewed, her name's Ashley Smith, and she's the mum of 2 young kids, and she suffered a severe heart injury after getting her Pfizer vaccination booster in January 2022. And at the start of the pandemic, she was actually employed in professional consulting services to assist the pharmaceutical industry in implementing community delivery of vaccines. So she was incredibly supportive of the vaccine rollout. And, her journey afterwards as a person who was injured by the vaccine has led to her being able to speak out publicly, and really draw attention that it's not a bunch of fringe people with really strange ideas. It's everyday people from all walks of life who've been impacted from mild to severe and to the ultimate to a fatal injury. And hopefully, the more coverage that we're trying to give you coverage here, the more coverage you can get, that maybe we can start talking about this more openly on mainstream platforms as well.
And have people just accept that it is actually happening.
Well, like a lot of things, I imagine it goes back to the dollar, that in order to acknowledge that a product has caused harm, there's huge repercussions for that. I believe I believe the various vaccine pharmaceutical companies given indemnity around any potential injuries. So the government would actually be held accountable, not the pharmaceutical company. I think that's how it works. So the government would be the one responsible for financial compensation, but not the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, and I think they did something very similar with doctors and things where they, basically, for lack of a better word, forced them to doing this and gave them monetary gains, and then recently sort of turned around and kind of threw them under the bus and said that they're liable now.
Well, the same thing we've heard, if you'd like to go back, I always like to look at old footage to see what the talking head said, and then what they said. And then you look at, we're looking back at just after a few months after the rollout, and all the fear-mongering and the threats and the intimidation to get people to take the vaccine, and to make it almost impossible for them to refuse it if they wanted to have any kind of livelihood, if they wanted to go to work, if they wanted to be able to enter various premises. I mean, we were fairly fortunate in the ACT. We didn't have the mandate here for a lot of areas in the ACT, and we were able to have a little bit more freedom of choice, but for a lot of places, as you know, in Victoria especially, that didn't exist. And then you've got the same talking heads now saying that they never said anybody had to, that it was a choice. Coercion is not a choice. Yeah.
No. And I don't know how they're actually being able to say that with a straight face. And I don't know.
But what I find interesting is we can go back and source all of the previous recordings very easily. That's what the internet's good for some things.
Yeah, there's one that we play. Sometimes we do play music. Sometimes we play clips and things. And there is that one that's going around these days that it's basically before and after, a then and now. That's then, this is now. What they used to say a year or two ago, and what they're saying now.
And this is what I find so strange, and I'm sure that we've all thought about this to some degree. Like, this is only a 3-year period of our lives, which started as 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
That's right.
Right? So look at the changes we've experienced in the way we live, the restrictions we're facing, the legislation that's come into place, just in a very short 3-year period. Like, that to me is really concerning, that when you can push through legislation and agenda that quickly under an emergency act, but then it calls into question how will this be used in the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What I don't understand is, like, I was reading this morning about Woolworths pulling a very popular ice cream.
Oh yes, it's like when they pulled the lettuce off the shelf.
A few people got sick from it. It said, what's it, cookie ice cream?
Cookies and cream or something,
Yeah, cookies and cream. They pulled that off the Woolworths shelves at the moment, like yesterday or today, because a few people have got, sick. No one's died from it, but they've got sick. And I think, why are they still doing this vaccine when the numbers are horrific of how many people that are sick from it and that have been injured from it, and then those that have passed away?
It's extreme. It is extreme. Yeah. I mean, they did the same thing 6 months ago with lettuce. I think they pulled lettuce off the shelf for the same reason. And we've always seen that throughout. Anything that's caused an adverse reaction has usually been quickly removed from public circulation. And this is the thing. Like, the amount of adverse reactions is astronomical. Like, you only have to go, if you're not. Someone who's listening who's maybe shaking their head and going, no, this is all rubbish. You only have to go and just talk to people within your own social circle and ask them, have they had any adverse reactions to the vaccine? So I had a neighbour who actually volunteered for the trials in the very beginning. It was very, she was older, she was concerned about her risk, very much believed that it was all for her good. And she was carted off in an ambulance to hospital, and she's still taken her boosters. And it's just, there's a barrier to people being able to accept that something has been done not in their best interest.
I think there was so much fear right at the very beginning, fear and guilt pushed onto everybody. You've got to save Granny, you've got to
And you're a bad person if you don't.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of gaslighting going on.
And that's where they created such division, which is what they were looking for, you know, divide and conquer. It's a age-used, let's say, strategy in war, you know.
Well, Matthias Desmet, right, the mass formation psychosis theory,
means it goes a lot deeper. Well done,
the
Joel.
rise of totalitarian regimes in
Deeper,
war,
look
and
deeper.
how you work the people up to being able to accept that regime and its behaviour. And that's he's actually is a professor in Ghent in Belgium. For anyone that doesn't know, look up Dr. Matthias Desmet, DESMET, and he's been fascinated by studying the reaction globally people have had to our experience in the last 3 years and how we've accepted things we never would have accepted 4 or 5 years ago. We've allowed,
People just don't want to research.
Yeah.
And it's also...
We believe in the TV.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what...
believe everything that's said. So that's like I'd say to a few people in Canberra, well, I had a few people say to me, actually, saying how that they work for the government. And I said, yeah, my daughter used to work for the government. And they'd say, yeah, well, if you work for state government, you've got to go and have the vaccine. But if you work for federal, no, you don't have to. And I think, I don't understand. Like, depending on what government you work for, whether it's state or federal, depended on whether you had to have the vaccine to keep your job. Like I met a couple, she worked for the federal government, he worked for the state government. He had the vaccine to keep his job, and he's got injuries. He has this story in the forest. And, it's just so wrong.
And, we're talking about a lot of people in the medical profession who were some of the first to be vaccinated voluntarily or mandated to be vaccinated. And there's a huge amount of vaccine injury amongst the medical profession, but also still a massive amount of denial. Like you're wondering that if you've seen your colleagues,
credible doctors losing all their credibility and
wouldn't they be asking questions? There must be a lot.
Whistleblowers being taken out
within the medical community.
Yeah, I met somebody who actually works in a hospital, was visiting Canberra, is not from Canberra, worked in a hospital in another state, and I said, well, you must see a lot, eh? He worked in the emergency department, and he said, yeah, he's seeing a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people coming in. It's just not acknowledged, right? If it, put the head in the bucket of sand, right? If I don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist.
And then I don't get my job threatened, right?
That's right. And then I don't have to feel bad for what I do.
Well, I remember a few months back there was a footballer who collapsed on the field and he was rushed off to emergency. And then I think the next night on the footy show there was a lot of comments made which then they had to rescind. But it was
a card from a pro basketball player.
A lot of athletes. We've seen the reports of top athletes dropping during the game. But this footballer, he said when he was in his ward, everybody was in there for the same reason. It's just shocking.
When we talk about this SADS or sudden adult death syndrome, just Saturday just gone. 2 of my friends were walking through the local, I won't mention the supermarket, but a local supermarket where they witnessed a healthy-looking, say, 25 to 30-year-old lady drop from top and in the middle of the supermarket. Within a few minutes, they had the defibrillator out, but she wasn't there. So how often and more often are we going to see this?
Well, we're obviously seeing a rollout of defibrillators being placed in public places too. Like at some level, it's being acknowledged that there's a huge uptick in heart conditions and cardio arrest and whatever symptoms people are expressing. There's obviously the government feels there's a need for more defibrillators. So if it's not being openly acknowledged, there's clearly awareness of it.
Alone should be enough to make people
Just need to join the dots. When I had my kids when they were little, my middle daughter had skin allergy. And I take to the doctor, and the doctor would ask me, okay, what clothes pad are you using, what are you feeding her, what have you done different, And they'd ask me all those different questions. Yet now, these people that are going to the doctors because of, you know, their heart or whatever it is where they've had their reaction, the doctor won't ask those sort of questions anymore, like, what have you done different? What have you had? What has changed?
They know what it is.
They just refuse to ask those questions.
Well, that's what I think is really troubled me the most, is that the elephant in the room is being completely ignored. It's slowly inflating and filling up the entire room. So we've only got about another 3 minutes left. I'd love just for people to find out how they can come and visit the Forest of the Fallen installation, and if they want to request to have a loved one added to the display. So perhaps Karen or Joel, you could let people know where they could come and have a look at the Forest of the Fallen installation.
Well, right now, for the last weekend, this weekend coming on Saturday, we're going to be where we usually are, and that's down by the lake, along Queen Elizabeth Terrace.
So where the big flag poles are.
Little early markets.
Yeah, so close to them. And we'll be doing that this Saturday. Traffic seems to be slowing down a little bit just because of, I think, the weather and
winter's coming.
Not sure right now if we're going to continue to do it in that location or whether we'll find a more central place, maybe even come back to Civic.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the middle of Civic, we've done quite a
lot
few
of traffic
during the day and if not in the afternoons. They were more sporadic once, and I will give a big shout out to the organisers of the little Belly Griffin markets. Thank you for working with us.
So that's Alex Green.
So you'll probably see us popping up. We try and get a weekly place again, but definitely in the middle of Civic, probably during the weeks. We'll probably look at there is another market down here,
Hague Park, so same organisers, so they would probably be open to something in the park. So online, if people want to reach out and find out more and get in touch, Selkie, where would they get hold of Forest of the Fallen online?
At the moment, it's all Forest of the Fallen. Just go to forestofthefallen.com and you can contact through there. We don't need any more along the coast in New South Wales. So, but if you're inland or anywhere...
So regional, that sort of thing. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, and then also Instagram's the hotspot.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Well, this always happens, we have these great conversations and then we run out of time. So perhaps we can have you guys on and we can talk about some of the other things we've touched on, maybe in a month or two, and that we have allocated more time for you. That'll be wonderful.
You did give us an opportunity for an hour and a half, and we just said, oh no.
Well, now you know. You can call 9 minutes later. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming on.
Thank you.
We've had on the phone, we've had Selkie and Christine. Selkie started the Forest of the Fallen, Christine Connor at Canberra Ambassador, and in the studio with us we've had Karen and Joel, who both
That's a win, eh?
The Forest of the Fallen. We look forward to seeing you next week. We are completely out of time. And
Warriors
will be back with us then, hopefully with some good stories about his travel. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Wow, winners, well done, you Warriors. Fucking impressed beyond. But I know that's the colour of people. It's just now the rest of the country gets to see the colour of people that they really are. Oh mate, how'd you just go with that, Dix? How'd you go with that? That's just beautiful. That's winning. That is winning. And yeah, much thanks to Karen, Christine, Joel, Selkie. The presenter or the host touched on it, the amount of courage, the type of courage, just pure courage it took just to go there, to take the lead and make the stand. Yeah, my hat's off to you because it's an element of courage that I don't really feel I have in some areas. They've got it. We've all got our strengths and weaknesses, but yeah, courage. I see the courage.
This is part one of a two-part episode. Anorexia is a condition whereby people are restricted.
Mate, wow, that's a win. So stoked, so proud. You hear programs like that and you wonder how the hell we've even gone wrong in the first place. I mean, I don't know the presenter's name, but well done, that presenter. That's more like it. Ah, beautiful. That'll get me through. Yeah, I respect them big time. Here's my friend. Wow. I think we've got to get ready to go down now. They're already on their way, so I'll put the tailgate up. Try and get out of here. Yeah, she's all locked up. Go for a walk. There'd be so much information on the chats that I probably won't be able to get to.
We'll now explain how this relationship with food can change for those with anorexia.
Selkie speaking, yeah. Selkie's someone I haven't met, I don't believe. But yeah, these guys talk highly of her, those that have met her. And obviously I'm in awe of her. Well done. Chemo, poison, Christine now, radio now. Yep, this is where we're at. Behind the Lines radio program live now. Thank you. Yeah, we picked it up, we got there. Angels on the radio. Angels watching angels. Angels helping angels. How'd you go with that, Gregory? Good morning, mate. Yeah, I know. How good was Joel? We always said he's got a voice for radio. Yeah, they've done us proud, mate. They really have. Yeah, that's a win. That's all we ever wanted, wasn't it? Just to be given the air that every Australian deserves, you know. The censorship of speech up until this point, and that is just a breath of fresh air. Yeah, beautiful, eh? 2XXFM. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's got a great radio voice, yeah. They're probably giving him a job, mate. Give that bloke a job. Did the rice and water yesterday and doing the apple and sugar today. Just trying to take it slowly right now and seeing what's helping. Yeah, I'm up for... Yeah, thoughts with you, Gary. Yeah. Yeah, with you. I won't go into details, but yeah, I'm right there with you, mate. Yeah, I just had bad yesterday. I just had enough, and I just went home, got a 6-pack of beer, a couple of bloody chicken schnitzel fillets, and a bar of chocolate, and I just bloody gorged myself, and just said stuff it for the day. And it hasn't helped the digestive at all. It's, yeah. Anyway, moving along. Yeah, I know. Better to use honey. That's why I had my bees. I haven't given up sugar totally, but over here on the front we've sort of moved back and probably getting way too much sugar in the system. Sugar's deadly. Salt's good. Oh, no butter. Oh. Yeah, explains a lot about. Very helpful. Coconut sugar. It's really high in potassium. I'll shut up and just see what these guys are saying.
I've tried everything. Tried every style of food. The only one that doesn't.
Hello. I think our mob's done us very proud.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. Fine ambassadors they are. Yeah.
No, very good interview.
Yeah, I don't know the interviewer's name, but yeah, credit to the interviewer.
Yeah, had it all under control.
They were treated very nicely with dignity. As
nice thing was that they didn't have to go to those difficult topics.
Yeah.
She went there.
She went there. She did. I know. I'm amazed. I'm blown away. I really am. Yeah. This big grin on me. I can feel the warm on the inside. Just like we're nearly there. And that group of people, they really went all out. They did it. They took the lead, made the stand, got it done. So even Joel, the growth in that man, just incredible. I mean, I know that I suppose I'm taken away from the women. I already give them all that credit. You know, they're powerful women.
Oh, but everybody here's growing.
Yeah, no, we all. Still me. Mega. Yeah, emotional, spiritual.
And we've grown together.
Yeah.
Even nicer.
That made my day.
Well, maybe there'll be another one.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, I reckon they've pulled Joel aside and said, we've got a time slot here, and you've got a voice for radio.
Yeah. It's got a nice gravelly
Yeah. You got to recognise talent when it walks in your front door.
Yeah.
And everyone loves Joel. Then you spread that love across the networks, across the airwaves. Yeah.
Dignified.
Yeah. Credibility, dignity.
Which is a lot more than we can say for some people that we interact with at the Forest of the Fallen. But anyway,
Yeah, they ask the right questions that actually lead to deeper questions, and it allows them to connect the dots with the greater deceit of it all, which is good.
It's incredible being there and talking to people about the Forest of the Fallen.
That's the courage.
The kids, love talking to the kids. Their minds are so open, even though they've been told all this stuff in school or by media or whatever. If you put that little question in there, then they're much more likely to follow it up and find out for themselves, which is fantastic because you want them to find out for themselves. You don't want to feed them, this is what the answer is. You find out for yourself. Just question stuff.
Here's the question. That's the right question. It's normally about finding the right question to ask, really. Find the right question and then you can get to the truth. Someone says, I need the answer, I need to find the answer. But you're actually trying to find the right question.
That's it, because they're spoon-fed.
Mm.
So you don't want to spoon-feed them the answer. Question it.
Yeah.
Find your
The
own
right
answer.
question will lead you to the truth.
I'm meant to that.
Oh, mate, we're all dropping the bombs today. Oh, and here we are on our sacred ground again.
Chilly. Sacred.
Yeah, it is. A little bit of a wind blow here. Everyone was suggesting they've said the V word too much that we might be censored on this channel, but I'm going to leave it public anyway. And tomorrow I think we're back on Freedom Front Canberra anyway. So, but if they're going to ban this conversation with a local radio station with real, Australians talking the real stuff, well, then let that be seen. Yeah, commit the crime, mate. Let them commit the crime, fully censor us, ban our channel, and we'll be on Freedom Front Canberra tomorrow. But I'm going to leave this public. I'm not going to be fearful of them banning us and not putting that out. That was just too good.
Did
you get a translation yet? It's one out of the translation.
Tell me more.
Live,
we're reconnected. Something happened. A bit of a glitch.
Good night.
So what's going on over there today?
He's got
guys have the microphone.
All right,
It's
test
bullshit.
That was
Test fire.
bullshit.
Long test fire.
Check.
Oh, jeez.
One.
Oh, I need hearing protection down here now.
One. Two.
Choo. Choo, choo.
That's what you call the voice. The voice of reason.
We don't need a voice. We have a voice. How about you listen to our voice? 464 days.
Is that right?
No.
You said 76.
How many?
We're nearly, well, today from the 1st of February would be 474.
Sorry, 474 days.
Give or take.
I can see you in the fetal position rocking back and forward. Those bastards are back again.
I reckon there's live streaming us straight to his cell in Gitmo.
Maybe he's under Parliament House in one of them cells.
One of them cells, yeah. Sell us out and you'll see the cells.
Cells under Parliament.
Yeah. Many of.
Oh, mate, I just feel fantastic after that interview. They did us proud, mate. Absolutely.
That's why they did it.
That's what I know. Strengths and
That's
weaknesses.
why they
mate.
did it.
And that's what I'm saying. They've got that courage. That courage that God is fucking unique.
Glory.
Yeah.
Glory.
He hasn't said remove my hat yet.
And I'm not taking it off until the very last
It's still
second.
bloody cold out here.
I will not do it.
You've never had to be told, Corey. No one's ever had to tell
You
you.
were having a big conversation up the back. I didn't think you were ready yet.
We're waiting on you, mate.
Oh, really? No,
All right.
you're waiting on me.
Everybody pick on Corey. Everyone pick on Corey. Right, time.
Governor General, stand fast. They ride with songs in a battle. They run. Straight of limb, true of eyes, steady and a go. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
the Governor General of this nation. This letter is a direct appeal from an ever-growing cohort of Australian people, both here and at home. We are but a small representation. Be scared. We call on you to action the public reveal of the unredacted findings in the police report from the Woodrow Commission, 1995 to 1997. The Woodrow Commission, as catalogued with the Police Integrity Commission, resulted in a 90-year suppression order containing 28 names of alleged pedophiles of prominent stature. How disgusting! They include judges, government officials, an ex-Prime Minister, and others. Sounds like our government is full of alleged pedophiles telling us what to do. Not good enough that our Australian government has made no attempt to undo the 90-year suppression order for the supposed safety and well-being of the population is unacceptable. Revisited again in 2015 in the Senate Legal and Constitutional Affairs Legislation Committee meeting. The then Senator Bill Heffernan delivered the same request for the findings to be released to the public. We have a right to know that there's alleged pedophiles in the government. As the Senator stated, it's not so much the secret that's a problem. It's when a group of people, such as the 28 people on the police report, keep each other's secrets. Not so secret anymore. Further into his appeal, he quoted the judge of the day. We decided not to revisit that issue because the public would lose confidence in the judiciary. Too late! We have! Governor General! You accepted the position of Governor General. Why don't you do your bloody job? How can you justify the 90-year suppression order of the police report from the Woodrow Commission, given that the Australian taxpayer paid out roughly $64 million on the case? We have a right to full disclosure of the investigation, given that we paid for it. 27 pain-filled years later, we have stood each week since August 30, 2021 at Government House in Queensland, and daily since the 7th of February 2022 here at Yarralumla. We are either real victims, family members of victims, or friends of victims of the appalling industry of child trafficking and pedophilia. How disgusting! We are God's children. That is so satanic. We the people also require the individual honoured with the position of Governor General to uphold the requirements of the office of Governor General and inquire why the Governor General has not stepped in with the obvious police overreach in inhibiting the people peacefully protesting, as is the protected rights of all Australians. It's up to the men and women of Australia to determine their level of confidence in the police, which there's none, the judiciary system, which there's none, and Parliament. Ha ha! Yours sincerely, concerned men and women of Australia, because child sex trafficking and filthy pedophilia will never be accepted in our communities. Time to wake up!
The Higgs are pretty convinced that Vaughan's on the microphone next. They're talking about it anyway.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, Tapper's dad reckons.
Thanks, Vaughan.
Vaughan was quick this morning. Yeah, if you weren't listening, sorry, it's all over. Well, Hurley, it's time for some truth. The truth will set you free. So I guess you've got issue with the truth. You're not free, we're free. We know the truth. And the truth sets us free.
Redeem yourself.
Talk about honourable position. The honourable position that you've been given. It's about time you honoured that position. Believe when I was there at open day, one of your staffers told me a lie. Many lies, in fact, but the one that sticks out to me is the one where she said the Governor General doesn't have power to overrule any piece of legislation that comes before him. He has to pass it all. I call BS on that. My opinion of you was low, but it even went lower that day. You are to stand between the people and the government, and if the legislation that they are trying to pass does not meet the standard of the Constitution, it is your job to throw it out. We need to throw you out. You lying piece of poo. I'm here representing my family, Hurley, and we're not happy. There's 15 people I'm standing here representing, so if you take that on account of everybody standing here, you got quite a crowd. If each one of us represents more than themselves, you got a problem. We, the people, are the Commonwealth. Hurley, my name is Nana, in case you've forgotten. And I have lost confidence in the government. And so have the other people I represent. I instruct you to dissolve Parliament, dissolve the federal Parliament, and issue writs for a fresh election immediately. Furthermore, I instruct you to release all the police documents that were tabled at the Royal Commission, the ones that Bill Heffernan was ordered to produce. Yes, they are legal police documents. We want them released to the people. Unredacted immediately. These two things are not negotiable. We will be here every day to remind you until you do as instructed.
Thanks, Nan. Why do we need a Governor General at all? He's just showing he's just absorbing more money for no reason at all.
If what Nana said was true, why are you even in that house if you're just a figurehead? Get out of our house!
That's what my... Yes, get out of our house.
Used to be a yearly camping at the Governor's in the early Governor's days. Why'd you stop that? Too many find the secret passages today. Scared of the people because we will come for you. You're no longer standing for the people, and the people have had enough of you spending our money. If you're going to be a governmental figurehead instead of the people's figurehead, then it's time to step down. Stop giving away $18 million to the future Australia leaders. The little foundation you have with 3 directors on Kangaroo Island. We know you pushed hard for it. We know that it was you that went to ScoMo to get it through the line. Do your research, people. Never mind the extra $40 million that was already put to them the year beforehand. Yeah, we know your dirty little secrets, Governor. How about I read you an extract from the British Medical Journal. You should know the number by now, volume 313, page 1448, from the 7th of December 96, same year as the Woodrow Commission. The judgment by the War Crimes Tribunal at Nuremberg laid down 10 standards for which physicians must conform when carrying out experiments on human subjects. The new code of 10 standards is now accepted worldwide. The principle of voluntary informed consent protects the right of the individual to control his or her own body. The code recognises that doctors should avoid actions that injure human patients. The principles established by this code for medical practice have now been extended into general codes of medical ethics. Standard 2. We had one yesterday and the day before. I think we'll go straight to 2. The experiment should be such yield fruitful results for the good of society unprocurable by other methods and means of study, and not random and unnecessary. It was a bloody coronavirus. Dettol kills it. Has done for years. Grab a 20-year-old bottle of Dettol, it'll say it on the back. The human race has lived with it for millennia. We don't need your shit. That would be unnecessary in nature. Random. Well, you tried to make it not random by just forcing everybody to take it. We didn't take it, and we're fine. Relatively speaking. Unprocurable by any other method. Your animal trials resulted in all animals dying. Your human trials resulted in a young girl wheelchair bound for life. You only had 1,500 people in the trial. Most of them had adverse effects. In fact, there's 3 pages of adverse effects in the 30-page document from Pfizer. 1,290 side effects. One of them being death. That's a dangle moment right there.
Oh, you just made the dig's day.
The experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and the knowledge and nature and history of the disease or other problem to be studied and anticipated results justified by the performance of the experiment. Yep, you definitely design designed and based it on animal experimentation because most of them died, and that's what you wanted. Bill Gates told us. If we do a good job of vaccination, we should be able to drop the population by 2.6 billion. You based it on the results, all right. The experiment should be so conducted as to avoid unnecessary physical or mental suffering and injury. Well, I don't think you did a very good job there when you forced people to stay in their homes for 240 days. When you told people they couldn't keep their job. That'd be physical and mental suffering and injury. Never mind all the people who took it who suffered and died. You have a COVID-19 vaccination compensation scheme for a reason. 7.7 million paid out already. I think you've got a bloody problem. You got more than one. There's one standing on the other side of the river here as well.
What about the guy walking across the property?
You should have some standing in the gatehouse out there as well, but they won't bloody stand up. You're back, trial. I was just doing my job. Dangle, dangle.
No excuse.
All those police officers started standing behind the people who shot unarmed Australian men and women down in Melbourne. Dangle, dangle for not doing your job. For not standing up before the people. There was a 14-year-old boy shot in the face. How do you feel about that? You wouldn't care. No experiment should be conducted where there is a prior reason to believe that death or disability or injury may occur. You knew it would. Your trial said it would. Your 1,500 people trial said it would. Your animal trial said it would. You intended it to. You wanted the money. And now you're using another thing to push for money. The degree is taken should never exceed the determined humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. There was no need. It was a bloody flu. 1,900 people, 1,900 people died in 2017 from the normal flu. Never mind your bullshit. That wasn't a pandemic. That was the flu like it always had for millennia. Your shit can't fix something that's been around and people have been trying to fix forever. It doesn't happen. The human body is well adapted to deal with it. Your experiment killed more people than any coronavirus ever has. During the course of the experiment, a human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end if he has reached the mental or physical state where the continuation of the experiment ceases to be impossible. You wouldn't let people stop and you still would. You're still mandating frontline workers. Fucking dangle dangle! Sorry for the language. You're pissing me off. During the course of the experiment, the scientists in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he or she has probable cause to believe the exercise in good faith and superior skill and careful judgment required by him that the continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death of any of the experimental subjects. Any. You have multiple deaths. You have $7.7 million of payouts from your COVID-19 vaccination injury scheme, compensation scheme. You have a bloody problem. Pull your head in. Either quit, get out of here, and let someone take over who has a good heart and a good soul and good morals, and will stand up for the people of this country.
All the digs 100% behind your speech, Phil. And yeah, Nobby, this lake doesn't freeze over, so we can't ice skate. Yeah, I don't think we get those sort of temperatures. It'd be nice, eh, wouldn't it? Like Billy Griffin, nice ice over, and we'll even go ice skating.
It'd be cold. It'd be really cold.
Governor General David Hurley. My name is Carol. I have lost confidence in the government, federal, state and local. I instruct you to dissolve the federal parliament and issue the writs for a fresh election immediately. Further, I want all the documents that Senator Heffernan produced to the Royal Commission released to the public unredacted immediately.
Yesterday.
These two things are not up for negotiation. We will be here every day until you do as instructed.
Thank you, Carol. Welcome, thank you.
Hello, is that David and Linda I see walking around the circle there? Why don't you come and talk to us? Whoops, maybe he took that medication. And I've heard from people that once the medication's been taken, they know of 2 men who have had issue, and I now know why the AFP male section have no balls, because they've packed up and gone on holidays. Everything shrunk once they took that medication. I understand. You don't have any balls. You can't stand up for the children. The children are our future. And what are they doing? They're trying to destroy the children. With the medication, with the education they're trying to get them. Leave our children and grandchildren alone, you sick pedos.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you everyone for speaking today.
Yeah, we're still here, never got a job, never water mines, 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, found all the camps, 2 keeps at the camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They try so hard, we try not laugh. They turn my car, the next day it's back in the same car park. These cops ain't smart, I'ma make a drop this charge. Son, you watch, we take it back to the start. No deeds, no titles, no trespass. Now we charge you, tables to turn. We can't be a proof for all the assaults, all the abuse. Nobody gonna cut me loose, knock knock. Yeah, who at the door? Makadar, bring on the storm. Library to empty, thought we were gone, regroup and come back to the front lawn. Yeah, we're still here, still ain't got no fear. We will cry, still ain't shed no tear. The sense of we still here. Is that all you got? We take on you more. We unite. You don't call the shot. Sovereign's been here all along. And they're still here. Yeah, they're still here. Return of the sovereign, but they never left. They're still here. Yeah, they're still here. Yeah, they're still here. The oldest civilization. It's been how many years? They're still here. Need your support for the new way this war is fought. Our low worry for the law and in June income war accords. Gotta cut out the cancer, yeah, that's what the plans are. Walk with the elders, they got the law, we got the numbers, that is the answer. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. Never got the jab, never won a mask. 2 years goes past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. 2 keeps at the camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the road, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up with a man on bail, and I'm still here. They see us come, we see them run. Now we are one, free our daughters, free our sons. They're getting scared, front line, you can bet I'm there. Even when we're gone, our spirit lives on, yeah, we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a jab, never won a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided at the camps, found all the camps. 2 keeps at the camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the road, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and knocked me up with a man on bail, and I'm still here.
Well, I've got an apple in my pocket for the possums, so let's go and make their day. Yeah, so 13 of us here on the front this morning, let alone the 30 diligent digital diggers upon the Weber nets. It's over 40 people here at the front today. Hello possums, how are you? I'm going to put an apple out for you, okay? Who's hungry? You want a bit of sweets? Hey? One of nature's own beautiful red apples. I'm going to leave it on the tree for you, okay? The sun brings the light. Alright, where's the pocket? Open up the pocket, get the apple out. Well, she's even sliced it nicely in half for you. There you go, one up there. Yep, it's secure. One down here a bit lower. Get it before the crows do, alright? Alright. What a day. Yeah, Phil even mentioned I don't normally get angry, but I'm really angry. Yeah, I was there this morning, I was really angry, but we also had a very low three-dimensional frequency of sodomy and evil playing on the radio before finally we got some love and light from our own mob and that presenter with the interview. So yeah, we say we're angry. Yeah, we brought the anger here. We brought that low 3D frequency. We turned it on. It's just amazing the quick effect it has on us. But we've got every right to be angry, and you guys know it. Anyway, but we'll never resort to violence. We'll never smash infrastructure, and we won't vandal. But once the people do awake, we'll be the moderates, as Mr. Ricardo Bossi says, and he's right. Said the police will have to move in and arrest these politicians just to protect them, because I think people have got every right to be angry, and their anger is probably going to show in actions. But like I said, escalate things as peacefully as possible. We just need to stand. Once we got the numbers, mate, like I said, I reckon the police will walk in there and drag them out by the ears, because they won't have the numbers to say no to us. And then they'll make that moral choice, I dare say. They'll see the love in everyone's hearts and then understand the evil that they've been protecting. Oh, well, that's a full day. I'm just about done now. I tried to get Vaughan on the mic. He blushed too. He was there behind the tree blushing. Nah. But he's with us, mate. He's never let us down either. 100% with us. I think the further we get on this, we see that no one ever left the front, mate. They just took it further. They just took it with them. Just like you do.
My van will be driving around with all that stuff on it all the way, you know, all the way back to Adelaide, around Adelaide, through Melbourne.
Actually, won't be. I think Martin will be due back soon, eh? I think he said he was coming back this way around now.
Yeah. Well,
Might be June.
Was saying that he was talking on YouTube or something like that, and Marty said he'll be here this Friday, which is today.
Oh, nice.
Right, but I said, "You sure it's our Marty?" And he goes, "Oh, I think so."
Yeah. I knew he wasn't going to be here for the Saturday, but if I remember rightly, he wasn't going to be here very long after that.
I think.
Hello, Marty's mum.
This Friday coming.
Yeah.
So that's probably.
Oh, we might have a little surprise today.
Week. No, next week.
Next week, right?
Yeah,
Okay, next week.
I'm going to miss him, but Marty and I were trying to work it out that he comes up for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, I'm here.
You rotate it through.
Yeah.
Oh.
So instead of having us both here at the same time and then losing two when we both leave.
It's funny, we don't even have to organise a rotation. It seems to be happening.
Yeah. Everyone can work it out for themselves.
Well, I'll get back to the car there, and I might take a layer off.
Yeah, same.
She's nice and warm now. Cozy. So Friday, eh? Oh, here you go. That crept up.
Who's this? Black man.
I don't know that one. He must be having an El Grande party. El Grande? El Grande? Or is that the Toyota version?
Obviously one of ours.
Don't know.
Mark, then.
Yeah, we must have an Acrod sticker. Yeah. Who've we got? And there's Dave rocking up. Just making a point and making a note that I haven't parked on the lawn for a while now. I did as I was told, and I was told, yeah. I think that's the Great Wall version, not the Nissan. G'day. I won't put the camera over there, I'll face it back this direction, this way. I've just got a camera here, but I'm facing it that way. Oh, same as we've done for, what, 470 days now. Proclaimed to the Governor General, expose the 28 names of the pedophiles he's protecting.
They say that, children?
So yeah, pretty much right. Everything's connected here, but ultimately it's a fight for the sanctity of children.
I've been trying to find you guys for a while. I come here often. Sometimes
Thank
it's
you.
here.
Welcome.
But can I talk to one of
Yeah.
the most important?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk. Otherwise, these people coming here now, they're very open to discussion.
It's actually just a personal matter for myself.
Yeah. Well, I'll move the camera away just so. They can watch that one there. Just coming back now. I'll take the clothes off. It's nice and warm now. Beautiful day. Must be old Granddad Day.
Yeah.
We were quite something I've got on the radio today and had a very good interview with the local radio station. It's brilliant. The old Granddad, she's been looking for us for some time. Wants to have a chat.
Oh. He's 51, same model. Yeah.
Well, warmed up now.
Has, yeah.
This is the luxury one, where the highway starts.
Oh wow, how about that? I feel absolutely exhausted. New lady at the front there, Carol. I don't recall seeing her around. She might have been around about for a while, but it's the first time I actually seen her and met her, and she stood up. She was quite confident to get on that microphone, and the written spiel there was very much in line with her own values and thoughts. Gate crash, Tangaluma. Dang, I love the names sometimes, eh? Every day they're massive, and all the cats disappear when the kite's coming. It's funny, eh? You know how ancient the crocodiles are. You see a crocodile laying on a mud flat, and then in an aircraft you fly over top and the shadow hits the crocodile and it just takes off in fear into the water. And you think, yeah, what used to be in the skies that might take a crocodile that's given them that instinct. I've been to Moreton Island. Geez, them was the days. Oh, geez, I was about 10 years old, I think. Dance in the moonlight. Oh, look, stop it, Alan, stop it. Oh, you just know it there. I'm leaving now. Packing me bags, I'm out of here. Yeah, I do love nobbies. Oh, Wallop, don't talk to me about bloody wallabies. you've got a Wallaby Island in Scotland as well. Yeah, cool. Kangaroo Island, running it down to find tunnels. Yeah, something's going on at Kangaroo Island. Something not bloody kosher. I'll come back over here. Good on you, Phil. Lady there just wants to have a talk, so Phil's got to have a talk to you guys. Yeah, the wallabies aren't even Australian, it's the Qantas wallabies. Mind you, I think even Qantas has sold them out now. They might have a new corporate, but they're not the Australian wallabies, they're the Qantas wallabies. They're a corporate structure, so probably why they lose all the time, because there's no heart and soul for the country. You know, it's another culture killer, especially when you compare it to the All Blacks, mate. Unbeatable. But you know,
so I can go with
sort of bite me words a little bit, but I don't know how many Australians are actually in the Wallabies team. True blue, rigid Australians that would fight to the death for their country and their family and the countrymen and women of the country. You know, they really go all out. The Wallabies, they've lost it. It's a corporate team. Kill the heart, kill the culture. You get pussycats instead of courageous wallabies. Nothing against pussycats, they're quite vicious, aren't they? I shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying.
Haven't those wagon wheel biscuits got crocodile in it, or whatever they call it?
She's dunking in the tea.
The blue was yellow.
She's got a really good local mechanic.
Oh, anyway, I'm sick of it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think we've nailed it all. Quit while you're ahead, so to speak. That's probably what I should do. Quit while I'm ahead before I bloody put my foot right in it. Yeah, it is beautiful music. Yeah, I watched the Streets of London one. That was very nice. You're getting there. Every now and there's a little... But yeah, it's a beautiful flow, beautiful music. Oh, I did hear a couple of... But in the same sentence, that's what made it beautiful too. Made it real. Oh, beautiful souls. Have a great day. You too, Pen. Got the spelling. Coming on camping trip. Greg, I don't go to Tangalooma. I go way up the beach from there, usually with 500 metres between my campsite and any other. Yeah, you don't go camping to be closer to more people, really, do you? You got to get away from it all, get back to source. Jarvis Bay is close, yeah. I think a dash is Jarvis Bay. And on that same conversation, I'm going to go public with this today. So I'm going to, even though the Chief of Security here has advised me not to, because they might ban us because they dropped that V word pretty much. But, you know, if they're going to ban us, we'll let them commit the crime. And by tomorrow, I think we're back on the Freedom Front Canberra anyway. So that channel comes off ban. And if not, well, then I'll graciously ask the help again of Cara for United Oz protests. But we'll get through, we'll get something transmitting and broadcasting. But yeah, by tomorrow there's a good chance we'll be on the Freedom Front Canberra again, so. Yeah, it does sound like a good life. Tiger sharks, yeah. Stayed on a 75,000 acre sheep station, sort of near Wilcannia in the far outback north of Broken Hill. Right, oh yeah. Yeah, heading up toward Coopedie there. Wow, you been here, mate? Where's me hat going? I got buff head. A big buff head. Yeah, giving up trying with the hair, it's wild. Wash my hair, it goes all boof.
Thanks, Barry.
Boof, not poof, boof. put it away. I think the lady over there has a very personal story to tell.
Hello.
Tiger sharks just need a cuddle and a wee run.
These and those. The rest of the shop.
What's the name of the license?
Corner connection.
Corner connection.
Corner connection. 15 Wanderless.
You like my bike, baby?
15
Want
Wanderless
to jump
Street,
on the back and go for a cruise?
Is it next Tuesday?
Dinky on the handlebars, mate. Give a dink.
Yes, the Tuesday coming. Yes.
What time?
About 5:45, so 6 o'clock it officially starts, but everyone gets it at 5:45. No, afternoon. Till about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Tuesday. Tuesday, 5:45. Yep.
Just got to take note of those shoes there.
The reason I'm talking about it is
Look at that. They'll keep you warm on the freedom run. Sheepskins inners, half a gum boot, hiking boot, and Ugg boot all in one. Those ones there, I mean.
That's a trick, falling off the trick.
The real trick is it's staying upright.
Show us how. Show us if you can still bounce.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Carl.
Pop a mono.
We don't stop playing till we get old. We get old till we stop playing. That's right.
Boom.
That's what she said.
Boom.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Never slow down, never grow old, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what she said too.
El Grande Day, eh? That's another one. I don't think we've had an El Grande here since Ren went back to Tassie.
And the people said no, the end.
The end, that's right, mate. Yeah, I've worked on a few of the stations. Helped on a lot of the stations. Helped a lot of the Aboriginal stations get back on track. Just by working closely with people, yeah. But Dad's property's sort of on the verges of Go-Go Station, Fossil Downs.
What's the word? Rejuvenate.
Rejuvenated. Sucking on his... It's half time, he's having his half time orange. Half time orange. This is bigger than sheep stations. This is bigger than cattle stations.
Is that right?
Big yabbies, yeah, big yabbies. We got the cherubin up there. Throw out the cast net and bring in some cherubin, big feet of cherubin. Which is just a freshwater crayfish. If you stand too long in the water, you feel them nip at your feet. Tasty big toes.
You want your wheels?
I knew you'd got to buy into it, Nobby. Wheelie Barspin transition to Stoppy. Righto. That just, I reckon we'd probably save the same conversation, but we use different words. Chuck a mono, knack transition to a broadie.
Oh, okay. Somebody... Oh, you did.
Bar spin, I think you're talking about swinging the whole bike around the handlebars. I think that's probably what you're saying about a bar spin. I don't know what the technical term we'd call that, or the the slang terms that we'd use for that.
Or at the top.
Yeah, chuck a mono. Launch into a knack, and finish with a broadie, which is like a skid, sideways skid. Oh, that's just, yeah, that's heartbreaking. There's so many people having to put down their cattle, and they really are attached to their cattle because they really do care. But once again, you know, the government blames droughts, climate change and everything. Well, they're not owning up to the fact that they've given all the water to the Adani mines and all the other big corps, not taking any ownership of the climate manipulation. Yeah, and they're just making it sound like it's every individual's fault that we are the ones killing the earth. Well, they get away scot-free, and they're the ones that are doing it all. Oh, it's a broken record. I love the blue.
I missed the
I
bite.
love crabs. Crabs taste so nice.
Oh, no, I don't.
I'm not so much into the lobsters. The crabs are fiddly, but geez, they taste really nice.
And that was practically a few days after the war. So he was homeless, and now he
And I could get the blame for it.
Did you know it? You know that?
My fingerprints are not on it. Hey, you know what was funny the other night? The money from the meat raffle at home. I said, I've been from market day. Here's a couple of notes that I dropped from the couple of months over the last few months. Came back to so hashtag exposed 28 keep cash alive on the note.
Yeah, I received an exposed of 28 $5 note from a change at a service station the other day. Still getting around.
But do you know you get a AAA note worth triple the money? So a first run note, so there's a what's the others? Australian. Oh, yeah, the AAA note. Right,
And on top of that, Nobby Noble, in 2006, I'm pretty sure it's 2006, Customs statistics said that 2,900 merchant vessels dock in and dock out of Australian ports every day.
Yeah. What I do is the lots of $10,000 that I withdraw, I go through the whole lot, 150.
That's merchant vessels. I don't think that's sort of fishing or anything like that. That's just purely merchant vessels.
So red is low, yellow is medium, which means if you hold on to it.
You reckon the merchant navy is in play here?
Become a rare note. Yeah.
I have a feeling there's a merchant navy at play here on the good side.
Double A notes are the first run, and the first two numbers of the note is the year it was produced. Yeah, double A. Yeah. Yeah, I meant double A. Yeah. So they're worth double the money, triple times the money. And what happens, it says once the scale goes, and then deposit it back in, and then go through and look for the double A notes, and then deposit
think one thing that interview probably doesn't acknowledge, and I don't think that it probably should acknowledge, but just behind the scenes, people should understand too that the arrests that group of people have been subjected to, all while trying to tell the truth. Yeah.
What's that?
Christine's been arrested, Joel's been arrested, Karen's been arrested. I'm not sure about Selkie, but yeah, been arrested and dragged through the courts. And this is why? Because they're just trying so hard to get this done.
Healthy food? I don't know. What's the fun in having healthy food?
Digestive.
Digestive?
Yeah. There's definitely a benefit of healthy food.
Yeah.
Like I said, a good healthy stew for a good Teflon poo. But living on the freedom front is just irritable bowel syndrome.
I know.
All this deceit is just IBS.
Western Star butter is the best.
You're talking about butter and margarines here. I'm not sure it's a real butter though, is it?
Tastes like real butter with Western Star.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of margarine, and then I realised that there's only one molecule difference between margarine and plastic.
Really?
Yeah. And then I went, no, I'm off this margarine shit. But I do like my butter. Yeah, I like a bit of butter on my bread. Fresh butter, fresh bread, raw honey. Ooh,
French stick, mate. French stick with Western Star butter. Corey actually bought some yesterday, a French stick, and we just had Western Star butter. It's the only thing that you could probably eat and enjoy by itself. There ain't no cheese, no salami, no nothing on it, just bang. Western Star
I'm exhausted.
butter.
I think I might head back and go have a little kip in my trailer.
Yeah.
Have a little lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might tune off the feeds here, Diggs, so leave us to it to go and seize the day before we take it all away.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yeah, so yep. Thank you very much for being with us, and we'll be on again tomorrow. Thank you for riding our waves of emotion this morning. Being with us to ride our waves. Ruby, again? Oh, well, back then, yeah. Not again, surely not. Ruby arrested. We're talking about was, yeah. Everyone's seeing Telegram, the TikTok vid on the plastic and the poly crap, etc. inside the chicken nuggets. Don't make me hurly. Man, butter is better. A bit of butter's better.
Well, this is my
Thank you, Bianca. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we saw you. And that was our mob on the radio. I saw you tune in a bit earlier while we were doing our proclamation. Vaccinated plastic. You don't touch it. Greed, yeah, so much damage to Australians' treasures. And you, Diggs, you and I are such treasures. True treasures and untapped resources. In service. See you, Greg, see you, Melissa, see you, Helen, see you, Kerry, see you, Nobby, see you, Diana, see you, Bianca. Yep, that's about everyone. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, Diggs. Thank you very much for being with us. Seize the day. God bless you. Yeah, back then for Ruby. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm exhausted. Have a great day, hey? See you then. Bye for now. Oh, Phil, take a deep breath. It's all done.